Here are the headquarters of the American Civil Liberties Union, the ACLU. The most powerful civil rights organization in the country has decided to become Sibel's legal representative. Sibel has lost in the lower courts against the FBI and the Department of Justice. Judges backed away because of the state secret privilege. Ann Beeson and Ben Weisner are now Sibel's new lawyers.
It's really phenomenal to me that any court could look at her case and say, no, it can't go forward, no, she can't proceed or win her claim.
What you have here is the Attorney General of the United States saying the plaintiff can't even set foot inside a court because the entire case is a state secret.
The defendant is the Justice Department. It's the FBI that committed the wrongdoing. And it's the Justice Department's own internal oversight body that has concluded that our client should win.
The danger is that if the government succeeds in that kind of really overbroad invocation of the privilege in this case, that it will be a very easy tactic for the government to use in future cases to avoid accountability and avoid responsibility.
A brick wall and then another brick wall and then another brick wall, and at every turn it was the federal government who was preventing her from getting any justice.
And that cannot be.
Not in a democracy.
No, it can't be.
January 2005, Sibel and her lawyers win their first victory. The Department of Justice Inspector General's report on Sibel's case is partly declassified and made public. The report confirms Sibel's allegations, but yields no clue as to the actual content of the FBI wiretaps. Still, with this report, Sibel has won her first victory. Her credibility is confirmed. Ann and Ben prepare Sibel's appeal in Washington.
Are you prepared?
Countdown.
April 23rd, 2005. This is the day of the appeal. Sibel and her team of lawyers are about to defend the First Amendment, freedom of speech. Ann, Ben, and Sibel want to give the state secret privilege a final blow.
When she saw wrongdoing and corruption, Sibel Edmonds had a First Amendment right to report that to her supervisors, to report that to FBI and Department of Justice without losing her job for doing that.
We have a mass of evidence already to prove that claim. That should be a no-brainer. I mean, it should be the end of the question.
But the lawyers won't get a chance. A few minutes after the opening of the court session, the judge asks the plaintiff and her attorneys to leave the courtroom. Sibel's fate will be decided behind closed doors.
We had a series of specific questions for each side. There was no argument at all.
Is it obvious why it had to be closed?
No, absolutely.
They didn't say a reason. They didn't say a reason. They just announced that the hearing was going to be closed. So, yeah.
While we were sitting outside and waiting. Yes, they excluded us.
Good morning, afternoon, what is it? Hi, everybody. I'm Ann Beeson. I'm the Associate Legal Director of the American Civil Liberties Union. As you all know, we just had an argument inside the courthouse in Sibel Edmonds' case against the Department of Justice. The court did, as you all know, because you've been out here, close the courtroom for the argument.
We went in there. We had about, 3-4 minutes? And then we were kicked out. And they spent another 10-12 minutes with the government attorneys. We don't know what they talked about, but we will be waiting for their decision.
It's clear that it should go forward because the Justice Department's own Inspector General concluded that her allegations were fully supported and that the FBI terminated her services because she made them.
Look, when the Attorney General came initially and invoked the state secret privilege, okay, he cited two reasons: to protect certain sensitive diplomatic relations and to protect certain foreign business relations of the United States. Now, they are saying that whole information, everything, is classified. We don't know what diplomatic relations they are referring to. They must be ashamed of it because they don't want to mention it. So we have certain diplomatic relations that prevents criminals being, prosecuted here. And I'm talking about the criminals in the United States of America, American citizens. I'm not referring to only foreigners here. you will see several criminal prosecutions in this country. Any other questions? That's your fight too. As much as it is my fight, it's not only for whistleblowers, it's your fight too.